You're wasting all the time. Another hour gone, did you hear the chime? You're wasting all the time.
Recorded for Thursday, August 29th, 2019.
That was good. It was like an opera vibrato.
It's how I become a diva. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to Wasting All the Time Season 2. This is Jess, your host for this episode. How y'all doing out there? I'm going to... Wait. Hold on. How y'all doing out there? People listen... No, wait, hold on. How y'all doing out there, people listening? This is your opportunity to respond. Oh, that's so good. That's nice. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Hey, so I've got some wonderful people in the studio with me tonight, today, this afternoon, whenever you decide to listen to this. And I'm going to go in a circular fashion and allow them to introduce themselves.
Kind of a square.
I'm Dave.
I'm Cody.
I'm Will.
Will.
Welcome back, Will.
For Wheels. Ooh, this means I'm the first guest on season 2.
Yes.
That's correct.
You're good now.
That's right.
We're
better now.
We're better now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, sure, why not?
We're better now.
There was a
We're better
time.
now.
I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay.
If you've never listened to the podcast before, let me just give you a really quick breakdown. What we are is an improvised comedy podcast where we will use words to make scenes and funnies and ha-has and laughs. We each have our own wonderful segment. So if me talking this fast is already annoying you, then maybe you want to try out a blue episode or a green episode or one of the episodes that does not say Jess, because the hosts rotate, which is actually something that I thought was really cool.
What color are you, Jess?
I'm red.
Red.
I'm red.
So if you like what you hear with Jess, then look for just the red episodes.
I don't want to presume.
You know,
Will.
Wow,
let's
just the
not
Reds.
presume,
Thanks,
because I've
Will.
talked with other fans, and yes, we all believe that the red episodes are the best.
Okay.
Oh,
Will, it's been
don't
great having
do
you, my
that.
friend. Thanks so much for stopping by,
Hey, I support you on Twitch, so
which I super appreciate.
yeah. Okay.
And that was the day the curse was born.
Fan mail flooded in, demanding red episode after red episode.
Everybody wanted to see red. No.
That was pretty good.
Ooh,
That's just how high this standard has been set.
Right.
Okay, so welcome again to Wasting All the Time. And since we have wasted a decent amount of your time with this intro, let's continue wasting your time with...
With what?
And now, it's time for Jess to break shit down. Now entering the Jesalogue.
Okay, you know what really gets me annoyed is when you yourself realizes, oh frick, you forgot something. And it doesn't matter what it is you forgot. It could have been your car keys. It could have been your phone. It could have been your dog that you left outside and you had to turn around a block because you're like, I don't want to be that fur mom. No one wants me to be that fur mom. Why did I do that? I'm the worst person ever. I can go to work late by 2 minutes as long as it means my dog is going to live. So this is what I want all of you to do. Whenever you discover that you have lost something or you forgot or you misplaced something, it's okay that has happened, everybody, because you know what's really happening? That item, that thing is against you. Personally against you. All right? And so this is what you're going to do. You're going to figure out what other items it is congregating with, because you know it's more than one item that is conspiring against you every single time. Who knew that a pen and a notebook could figure out how to open a freaking door for a dog? Okay? Also, get new locks. Put it on your to-do list. Because maybe, just maybe, you could teach your dog a new trick and she'll let herself in. And then you know you were a good fur mom because you taught her right.
Wow. Am I supposed to be afraid or now enabling? I
mean, I know fear.
I am
now.
so scared. I'm so scared. What else is after me?
I don't know, but you gotta find your truth.
Wait a minute.
You gotta find that truth, man.
And it's right here in the Jesalogue.
That's good. That was a solid outro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Can
terrified.
we put that into the like it's a button I push? Okay.
Just so when you're walking down the street, when you're saying, what up to ladies.
Old ladies.
Old ladies with the red hats.
Oh, God. They're
It
so
just go,
great.
boom. The Jesalogue.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I like
we
this
can put it
idea.
on your phone and wait.
Oh, don't! Come on! Oh, it's the end of the Jesalogue, guys.
The subtext is Jess misplaced her phone. Subtext.
Subtle.
So subtle.
Will's the master of subtlety.
Well, without further ado, let's continue the subtlety with...
Upwards, downwards, forwards, backwards. I say we go Fruitwards.
Okay, so the way that Fruitwards works is we have two different colored cards, and one of these colors has an adjective, and the other color has a noun. We're going to pull one of each of these cards, and then we are going to say what those words are, and then we will improvise a scene based off of those two words, what we said.
Those are all the things.
I can't believe we've never included that important step in describing this game. We're going to draw two cards. We're going to tell you what those cards are. Jess, you have brought new life to our games.
You're
now.
welcome.
We're good now.
We're good now. We're all
Red
better
episodes.
now. Okay, so let's pull our first card. It's John's, and then the second card is compositions. John's compositions, guys.
Wow.
All right.
Cohorts. Individuals.
So I reviewed the scores that you sent me, and I had a few notes.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Yeah,
Because it's a musical thing, you see. Because I can hear music with my ears.
that's interesting for you to say because based off what I was looking at, it's well. First, let me ask you this question. This will really sort of put this whole thing into context for me.
Okay.
Now, as an artist, are you composing music for yourself or for an audience?
I am composing music for money. Because I'm a professional.
I see. Okay, with that context in mind, I'm really curious why you felt the need to invent so many new instruments instead of using instruments that are commonly available. What makes you the person that needs to invent these?
Well, for the most part, it's about pop culture, and the music world, I believe, needs to move forward. There's so many lawsuits these days where this person is saying, "Oh, I'm going to sue you because you copied this," and frankly, all of those instruments and all of those notes have been played at some point, at some time. Therefore, new instruments need to come out, and I like to use scores that use emojis. So right now, none of the musical instruments that are out there utilize these emojis. Therefore, I need to create those instruments, and therefore they can then play my score.
Right, and then you also get the hefty licensing fee whenever people use those instruments.
Correct. Like I said, for the money.
I see.
Maestro.
Yes.
I was playing this G sharp major chord, and now there is a laughing tears face.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds.
Yep.
How do I? Is
See?
that how that's supposed to sound?
That is exactly how it's supposed to sound.
Is that in tune?
That is completely pitch perfect.
Wow. So it's just that's laughing crying face. What about just laughing face? I imagine there's some subtle differences.
Yes, there is. Well, let's play it here.
Oh, wow.
See,
Oh, wow.
you hear the tonal fade.
Yeah.
It goes,
That's masterful.
there it is.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to hear middle finger emoji. Okay, I'm gonna go practice.
Yes, music of the future. So, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to know why you put into the contract that you have to bring a host of your own performers to every performance. Why can't we just utilize our folks here at the orchestra?
Well, do you know one of your musicians that can play a Zangarelu?
No.
Do you have a performer who is a maestro and a savant at my lagango?
Again, no, but reviewing the range of that instrument as indicated in the score, I thought that, an English horn could probably play that.
Well, that is kind of what I based it off of. I mean, I'm not going to reinvent the human experience.
No, I know.
Just making new music here.
That much is clear.
Yeah.
Because, I spent a lot of time analyzing the score. That's something that I do as a real musician. Mm-hmm. And I've discovered that when you take a lot of your sort of layers away, this is a score of the Raiders March.
It's a reinterpretation of that.
Yeah, there's a lot piled on top.
Yeah.
But at the core, you're using someone else's music.
Well, it's like I said before, everybody has done pretty much everything at this point. So yes, deep down, someone's music is down there. I don't know whose. I don't have that time. What I'm doing is revolutionary, and I think what you really need to focus is what's on top. Ignore that subtext. That's
subtext.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's just inspiration.
Samba, 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 fling.
Sorry, just practicing.
And you sound brilliant.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to take a leave of absence for the rest of the season. I can't be a part of this.
The future.
That was the saddest resignation I've ever heard.
The sad thing is everything I said made some sort of logical sense.
That is sad.
It would to a professional musician that does it for the money.
Yep.
Literally every note has ever been played.
Right.
So this is Raiders of the Lost Ark with emojis. Enjoy. That'd be the Imperial March, but at least it's John Williams. I appreciate that.
I tried one. The only one that I could think of. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot of music, guys.
That's all right.
Okay. That was Fruitwards.
We did it.
Good job, guys. Air high fives. Air high fives. Air high fives.
Pats on back. Pats on back.
Pats on back. Okay. All right. And now.
I was pretty happy with that one.
Was that a pat or like a slap?
Really, that's kind of one of those is 3 grains of rice a pile thing.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 3 grains.
I guess we've solved philosophy then. Let's move on.
Okay, we're going to move on to...
What have you been up to? To what have you been?
And this is when we check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing, learning the haps, and then naps.
Ooh, that sounds good.
No, don't trust naps.
I'm going to try one real quick here.
Well, fine. I won't ask you first. It's not your turn to be asked first anyway. I'm going to ask because the person I'm most interested in right now is Will.
Ooh, how much time do we have?
You get
2 minutes.
You get 2 minutes.
Oh, good God. Okay. So, like, the least important thing is I finally got a chance to watch Avengers Endgame. We don't typically go out to the theaters. We actually buy it. So, went to a Target, picked it up, bought it, watched it, went to bed too late. It was great. So, it was like the Catch Me Up Game at Home edition.
All right.
So, I did that. Then, moving up, I'm doing a number of different podcast stuff. I've actually been a semi-guest on a podcast called The Bricks King, where we talk about Lego. And on there just recently, the recording should be out last Thursday on the 22nd. I talk about something else I'm doing, which is the Lego Ideas is a website where you can put a project up there. And then if you get enough votes of support, Lego considers making it a actual official set. So the project I have up is Ahoy Seafood Restaurant.
Ahoy!
And
Classic.
it's a 2-floor restaurant, outdoor seating area, aquarium, fully fleshed out kitchen, lots and lots of
Lots
details.
of flesh in the kitchen.
Lots of flesh that they cook and eat, and it's not delicious because I don't like seafood. I just like the idea of nautical stuff. Other podcast stuff. So, of course, I would ask anyone who is interested, takes a look, please give me a support.
Yeah, so if somebody votes for your Ahoys and you get to the next threshold, which is how much?
Okay, so they break it up in tiers, and each tier you hit, you get more time to try to get the 10,000. So I passed the first one, which was 100, gave me a full year. The next one is getting to 1,000. That'll give me another 6 months. Then 5,000, another 6 months. There might be one at 7,500. I'm not exactly sure. Might be. I don't quite remember.
So when you get fully backed,
Yes.
Not if, when.
Right.
What are you going to do to celebrate? Is that when you go out and buy a yacht? Because I would imagine that by the time somebody gets like that many votes, you're in it with Lego. Like they're gonna roll a red carpet out for you.
It's actually fairly substantial because the amount of money that they pay you is 1% off of the set cost. And judging by the size of mine, it would probably be about $150 set. So that's $1.50 per set, and they make a lot of sets.
Oh wow!
Like 12?
Yeah, like 12 or 13.
12 and up.
If I'm
you
crazy.
could get a Happy Meal, and then coincidentally enough, it will be one that has Legos in it as like the.
That's meta, right?
Meal. That's
yes.
meta.
Yes. So yeah, I'd
Pretty
be
meta,
rolling in Happy Meals at that point. Other podcast thing, I've been asked by a podcaster that goes by Florey's Super Saturday Board Game Special. No, Serial. Yeah.
Oh, that changes the whole meaning.
Yeah, Florey's Super Saturday Board Game Serial.
Oh,
Okay.
it's in addition. Excellent.
So my wife and I were also into board games. We went on there as guests. And in doing so, he had me read some information as a character, Dicey the Die, and who lives in board game land. And he liked that concept so much and has done it with other things that he wants to create a whole bunch of intros and outros and commercial breaks using various characters from the board game land. So I'm going to be helping with that, creating different types of characters.
North
Very
Board
cool.
Game Land.
Yeah. So Dicey the Die is a very high-pitched, excitable little character. And like, hey, I'm Dicey the Die, and I'm going to go and play some board games, and you're all going to die because I'm 1d6 of crazy fury.
Wow.
That type of thing.
That's insane.
Crazy Fury. I
So,
love it.
all these other podcasts that you're on, are they available somewhere?
Yes. So the Bricks King podcast is up on Podbean and probably a few other places. You can just search for the Bricks King podcast. The Flip Florey. God.
You can also check the show notes.
Yeah,
for
you can
this
probably
episode.
check the show notes. Put links in there.
And we'll have a link in the show notes for people to go and vote.
Yes.
With the Lego. Awesome.
I think
Very cool.
I think there are other things that I just got like $500 of Lego sets that I need to build and review because I write for the Brick Blogger, which is a website where we just talk about Lego.
Oh, dang.
And so I didn't tell my wife because she just had a birthday, and most of the stuff I requested was stuff that she was looking forward to building. So all these things showed up, and she's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "You gotta open it." What? Really? What is it for? And I'm like, just open it and see. And she's like, how much did you spend? Nothing.
That was the big question. She was like, how hard am I kicking you out today?
Yeah. It's like-
Right.
But then it's nothing. So it's like, oh, you gave her the greatest birthday gift.
The greatest gift of all.
So immediately
More Legos.
we went into building this $200 treehouse set that she's been sharing photos of, and she's been getting so many likes off of this thing, and it's not even complete yet. We're just building a
wow.
trunk,
Nice.
Oh my
and it looks
gosh.
amazing.
So cool. Very, very cool.
Man, it's awesome.
Yes,
Lego life.
for life.
LL, you got the LL tattoo. Lego Life.
Like, is a hashtag just a bunch of L's put together for Lego Life?
Yes.
That is correct.
You nailed it.
Lego Life. Cody,
That's me.
what's up?
So currently working on an audiobook project, which is a lot of fun. I actually can't even talk about like any of the content. That's how secret it is, but I'm working on it and it's super great.
Can you sign it to us?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Can you can you sign a little louder?
Here.
Nice.
So that's a lot of fun. I can say I've had to learn how to do, an Estonian accent.
Oh,
And in one scene, I have had a character who is a native Estonian who speaks fluent English talking to an American woman who speaks English as a first language doing a German accent.
yeah.
So that was a blast. I've been learning a lot about the sounds my throat can make. Oh, it's intense.
Oh, boy.
Also, super recently, like diving into coding. I'm learning Python 3 and Bash, which is a shell scripting language. And I actually like have a practical use for it right away. I'm super excited. I'm kind of nerding out because I'm going to send over some of the files for the audiobook. And I have right now like 27 chapters done. And I need to append, which is to put on the end of the file name that like it's raw, like an indicator. This is a raw file, hasn't been edited, but it has to be before the dot wave. I know this is scintillating. Stay with me. And
Sorry, I just woke up.
that's fair. No, I respect that. And so I've learned in this programming language, Bash, how to do that. Instead of like going to each one and going click, wait a second, click, okay, to the end, capital R-A-W, enter, okay, next one, click. I can write a single line of code and it will do the whole thing. And it is like, nerd me is super excited.
Nice.
Nice.
Regular me is pretty excited too because he's a nerd.
So, are any of these code language going to be used for the video game you eventually want to make?
Yeah, because Game Maker Studio uses a proprietary coding language, but it uses programming standards like variables and for loops and things like that. So that will increase my overall knowledge of programming and programming flow, control flow, conditional statements, which will eventually make the video game that much better. So that's it for me. Audiobooks and really nerdy things.
Beautiful.
Not much to say for me. I've been working hard.
Hold on.
Wow.
I didn't say your name.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm Dave. I jumped the gun.
It could be Jess's turn for all we know.
That's technically correct.
Hey, David. How you doing?
You know,
How you doing? You're really excited. I can see that.
We stomped all over that.
I really just wanted to say your names because it'd be appropriate because I said their names first.
that's fair.
I didn't want to lose the courtesy.
No, to be perfectly honest, I am still in the process of letting go of hosting every single episode.
How's that going? Letting go.
He welcomed back
It's,
Will, so that was wrong.
It's hard to contain, but it's fun.
Welcome
So-
back. Welcomed back. Welcomed back. I don't know how to format.
Welcome back.
You don't know how to format. Okay.
That's a welcome
Must inform that.
backism.
Hey guys, this is his time.
This is my time.
Say,
I want
say
to.
what's
I
going
want to use my time, if you don't mind, to abuse Cody.
That's fair. Bring it on.
All right. Okay. Then
No,
the floor recognizes me.
As I've,
Seconded.
as I've said on some previous podcasts, my work-life podcast balance has been a little wonky. Work has been taking up a lot of my energy in recent times, and so there's not a whole lot to report. When I get home after work, if I don't have to go anywhere or do anything, I tend to sit in the comfy chair and watch YouTube videos on the TV or something like that, and then go to bed.
Oh,
Do
did
you
you check
find-
out the Spiffing Brit?
Not yet.
Okay. They have a Minecraft. I did check it, watch it. It was fun.
Language.
Very good. Very good.
Is there like a specific YouTube clip that you're just like you find yourself watching and you're going like, I need to see this again?
Ooh, I can't say there are many YouTube videos that I revisit. There's a performance, Radiohead performance called Live from the Basement, where they performed one of their albums called In Rainbows, which is one of my favorite of their albums. I've watched that multiple times because it's kind of a fun way to experience the album and to be able to see it being performed. Yeah, but no, nothing big. I got things I got to do, music to write, all that, but progress is slow. So
Well, I hope it picks up for you.
thank you.
No, I feel you on that. Like, you work a whole day. Like, if you're working the 8-hour day, in your case, sometimes 9 or 10 hours, and then you're like, cool, now I have time for my projects. Except, fuck it, I just want to watch TV because I'm tired and I've been working all day. And you do need to decompress.
Yeah.
And it's always that struggle between, all right, let's be productive with the things I like, and I want to do nothing for the next 4 hours because I've been
Because you need to
doing shit all day.
recharge.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and the next day you're like, oh shit, I didn't do anything I wanted to do because of work.
Yeah, and I've got some things looming. I have in just a few weeks. I'm going to be working 12 days straight on a project. So
No.
Work life.
Just look at
this
them
is
and
basic
you just-
Davenomics.
it's pretty cool that the podcast is still coming out on time. Say that.
Oh,
Anyway, how about you,
jeez.
Jess?
I
That
am.
was subtle. I really like that.
It
Well,
was subtle.
We have to say her name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Things are going well. That pile is still in my husband's workout room. But he's going on. He's on
He's leaving you?
vacation.
Oh,
no!
all right.
Oh shit, dude! Oh,
Sorry.
surprise! Dave's a horrible person. That was his
I'm
idea.
gonna say your name first again.
Wow. That was
Coming for you, Frank. All right. So
more clips.
yeah, he's.
Jess? Okay. So this is the whole you've cleaned out your art room
Yes.
and it's still
Yep. Which I feared would be the thing that would happen. And I am a self-fulfilling
Profit?
prophet. Yeah.
Prophetess?
Prophetess? That's a word.
No, let's just keep it profit.
Prophet. I think
Can't just
prophet.
go around adding S to
I'm a
words.
self-fulfilling. It's everywhere.
This is your fault. You did this.
but it's not in your way, so that's a good thing.
No, it's not. It's not in my way, and that's probably the reason why it hasn't been picked up. So it's probably a real bad thing. It's not in my way.
Jess's
be
mind,
honest.
just every time it thinks about the room. No, not my way. We're good. And then
Yeah, and then I go back to Overwatch because I started playing comp matches
Ooh.
when Roll Q came out, and
did you make it to gold?
I did with support, and I did with attack. Yeah, I bronzed out on tank.
Oof. Big
Not
mood.
not just it was bad. My first match lost, but very close. So I was like, this makes sense because we were playing capture and we both got to 99% on both the freaking fields, and it was just like it was great. It was like what Roll Q is supposed to be for. And then the next 4 matches, I proceeded to have at least one person from my group just drop.
I thought you didn't get
So I
punished in rank
lost.
for that if someone drops.
It gets when it's
Come on,
the
Blizzard.
placing when it was the placing ones, it would just mark it down as a loss.
Your placement matches, yeah.
Yeah, for my
They're-
placement loss. So now I'm stuck in bronze, and people just drop all the time in bronze, so I can't get out.
Elo
I
hell.
have not been able to get out. So
believe
I've
she's
just
in-
been trying to go for the lowest score instead. I'm outthinking them. Outthinking them.
Playing the other game,
Yeah.
the meta game.
Who can lose better? This gal.
It's like that episode of South Park, where they're playing baseball and they don't want to play the whole summer, so they try to lose all their games.
Oh, don't they just keep
But
winning?
this was
with it?
America, yeah, and they keep winning.
Yeah, yeah.
And finally, spoiler alert, Randy Marsh, Stan's dad, like gets in a fight at the baseball game and eventually gets them kicked out of the league, and that's the big triumphant moment that they're like, we don't have to spend our summer playing baseball. It's honestly brilliant satire.
All right.
Oh, Jess.
Yes.
I thought of another thing I'm doing because I'm not doing enough things. So, in a couple of weeks, my wife and I have been signed on for a project. It's going to be a Kickstarter game where there's going to be a book of roll and write games. And roll and write games are essentially like Yahtzee, where you roll dice, write something down. So we got selected for that, and we're one of 11 games in this project that's going to be called Dice and Ink, put out by Inkwell. So in the next couple of weeks, that's going to go live as a Kickstarter.
There are so many links you're going to have to put into this episode.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. Link you have a homepage. We're just gonna link to that.
Yeah, just link to just get a social account, and we'll just link to that guy. All right, so that is us checking in with each other. Thank you for giving us all that moment, listeners, for letting us expunge reality. What's up next?
Except Dave.
Jess, I hope your husband never leaves you.
That was slid in.
Hey guys.
Well, hey there.
Hey!
All right, so this is the segment where I get to pull up a news article that also is heartwarming and lovely.
Oh, sorry. Last time there was death or something.
No, only the first time. I learned real quick. I learned real quick, guys.
It was awkwardly awesome.
It was the perfect first entry into Jess's What's Weird in the World.
She finished, and then Dave and Cody were like,
His head was not in a good way.
yeah.
Such a British thing to say. Okay, all right. So
Love
this
Britishms.
is this week's news article. Man discovers 50-year-old message in a bottle on Alaskan beach. Right. Okay, the message. Let's see. A man gathering firewood on the shores of western Alaska found a perfectly pristine 50-year-old message in a bottle from a Cold War Russian sailor.
Whoa.
Tyler Ivanov found the handwritten letter near Shishmaref.
A
I think
likely
that's how you
story.
say that.
Gesundheit.
Which is around-
I know.
Around 600 miles northwest of Anchorage.
The only place in Alaska anyone knows.
Yes.
Tyler says, I was just looking for firewood when I found the bottle. And when I found the bottle, I had to use a screwdriver to get the message out. He then shared his discovery on Facebook, where Russian speakers translated the message to be a greeting dated June 20th, 1969.
Nice.
This is what it said. Sincere greetings from the Russian Far East Fleet mothership VRXF Sulak. I greet you who finds this bottle and request that you respond to the address Vladivostok -43 BRXF Sulak to the whole crew. We wish you good health and long years of life and happy sailing. 20th of June, 1969.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah. Right? It's kind of
really
cool. So, the reporters actually tracked down the dude who wrote it, which was Captain Anatoly Prokovich.
you can do it.
Prokovich Botsunenko.
All right, now all at once.
Captain Anatoly Provishkevich Botsunenko.
Nice. Yeah.
Tried. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and I didn't even edit that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope your editing never leaves you.
Oh. We're done. Podcast over. That's it. It's the best
Okay.
joke we're ever going to get.
You know, as long as you learn from your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Right, Cody?
Yeah.
I
Grow.
don't understand what you're talking about. I never, ever learn.
So, here's the great part. The reporters went, hey, they essentially went to this guy and went, hey, do you remember writing this message in a bottle? And he said, no, I never wrote a message in a bottle. I don't know what you're talking about. And it wasn't until they proved to him it was his signature. He went, oh, yeah, that's right. I wrote a message.
Because the Russian government was going to execute him.
Yeah.
It was the Cold War, for God's sake.
And then it's like this reporter just wanted to cast shade or something, because then
do.
the captain asked whatever happened to the Sulak, and the response was, oh yeah, in the 90s it was sold for scrap.
Oh.
And the sailor never knew. And so it even says he shed tears when he found out.
Wow.
And I collected them in a bottle.
So that is
Dick reporter.
right?
Remember this legacy of your life where you built some of the most poignant memories you'll ever have? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I can't blame him for not remembering. It's such a throwaway message.
Oh no.
Well, it's been great having you, Will.
Yep. First and last guest. Season 2.
All right, guys, gather around.
Okay, all right, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Ever since we found out we were going to be going out to sea, I've always wanted to write a note and put it in a bottle. But it needs to represent all of us, I think. So let's sort of come up with some ideas about what we want to say.
Okay.
This is going to be, thrown out into the sea, and who knows where the currents will take it or how long it'll be out before it's discovered. What kind of ideas do we want to send?
Can we start with, I hope all your women and children are slaughtered dramatically upon the altar of our glorious God.
You want to start with that?
Seems like a pretty strong opener. Like, it means hope, which is like hope for the future?
Really leave room to build.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't even know if I don't know if I want to even go that far necessarily.
Just women slaughtered? Oh, that's good. I like that.
Maybe someone else has an idea. How about, peace to you, person, traveler, person of the future? In whatever land.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you have slaughtered many women and children of your enemies.
Okay, I see what you did there.
See, now whoever reads it is going to be happy because they're like, man, whoever wrote this note hopes I slaughter a lot of people, right?
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll write your version, and maybe we can do a second draft at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? What should we say after that? We say, I hope you have slaughtered people.
Women and children, that's important.
Women and children, okay. And then what? And then what?
That's as far as I usually get.
Okay, short. To the point.
Before I start slaughtering
Okay,
people.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that version. Maybe we start out with something nice like, peace to you.
And have a meatball sub.
Okay.
I hope meatball subs still exist.
I don't want to necessarily alienate vegetarians.
Have a soy ball sub.
Soy balls, come on.
Soy ball sub.
Have a meat substitute ball sub.
That sounds pretty good.
How about we get more general? Have a tasty sandwich.
With balls of stuff in it.
Okay.
Maybe it's falafel or something.
Covered in the blood of your enemies, yeah.
No, it's like a meat. It's like sauce.
Can vegetarians eat the blood of their enemies, Stan?
You're our only vegetarian friend, so you gotta tell us.
Does it count?
Well, if they are vegetarian, then yeah, it's fine because you are what you eat.
Oh, okay, man, Stan, always coming through in a pinch.
That's what I learned in sandwich school.
Okay, boss. Can we work that in?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Let's do that. Let's just everyone kind of get your own point of view in here.
Okay, that sounds good.
Now let's go to the person discovering the bottle many decades later. Exactly.
You couldn't see it at home, but I was doing time fingers.
You were. Hey, what's that bird pecking at?
Something shiny in the sand.
Hey, bird, shoot. Wow.
Okay.
It's a
polite bird.
It's a very polite bird. Yeah. And this is a very large bottle filled, absolutely stuffed full of paper.
That is... Do we have screwdrivers enough to get that paper out?
Yeah, I got one here in my multi-tool. Let's see here.
Okay.
Nope.
Maybe we can use this bird. It's very helpful.
Okay.
Get in there.
Here,
Get it.
Here, bird, you get that?
Yeah, because it...
Well, that's that word. I guess that's one way.
That was a nice bottle. I was hoping to get all that trash out of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess now we just have to clean it up. What does this say? I hope you have a tasty deli sandwich of one description or another. My personal preference is meatball.
Well, this part over here says, the blood of your enemies shall rain down and glorify my God and your God, and I hope you're victorious.
Oh. That's heartwarming.
Ah. I'm going to eat this bird.
Okay.
This is the politest sequel ever.
Okay. So accommodating.
Such a good burb.
Like,
I'm not
the politest burb.
All right. Oh, gosh. And this.
It's the Improv Game of the Week.
Okay, so since I knew that there was going to be 3 people on today, I've been turning my little improv head so that I could direct and you guys could all share some time. So what this game, I don't know if you've done it before. It is called, it's got so many names. It's got so
improv
many names.
games usually only have one name?
The what? Yeah, that's true. They're all set in stone with one name and
That's
only
right.
played one way.
Have you guys played Slap Dingleberry? Oh, we call that one Pancake Punch Up. Like fucking.
Gosh. So this one has a lot of names. Some people just call it Spoon River. Some people call it Spork River. There's a bunch of different variations to it. So
Very, very early days, I think we played a version called Goon River.
Goon River.
Goon
that's-
River,
yeah.
that's another version of it. Okay.
And we've not played it since.
Yeah, not new improv game.
Well, I have
So
no
this
idea
will
what
be-
this is.
Yeah,
Well,
Very
it's a
interesting.
different name, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So it's a different game.
Deadly Spork River. Got it.
So, to make everything not as dark and morose like most Jess episodes, I'm going to remove part of the rules, and so make sure you listen to these rules because these are going to be the rules
I'm
for
listening.
this
I'm not.
game of Spoon River. Okay,
Spork River. Got it.
Spoon River.
Un
River. So,
How many? Un.
There's going to be a major incident in a small community
Okay.
town. And each one of you will be a character that is describing your point of view as to what this catastrophic incident was. People may or may not have died. They don't have to die. None of you necessarily have to die. But you will be taking turns telling your part of the story, progressing it. And though the listeners won't know, I will be like pointing to who it is that will speak on turn
Great.
until the story is fulfilled.
Well, I walked out onto the front yard and overlooking the square, and that's when I saw it for the first time. They actually unloaded an entire truck worth of fertilizer out onto the fountain. And boy, that got my blood boiling. I went over to clean up and got a shovel and a bunch of bags and trash cans, and I started digging because, you know what, this is going to go right back where it came from.
Now, Cletus's Fountain Emporium is kind of a point of pride for him. And people dumping fertilizer in his fountain he does not take kindly to. So I took down their license plate number and emptied 2 of their tires of the life-giving oxygen, which lets them rotate, so that Cletus could hunt them down and exact his terrible, terrible vengeance on their souls. Because, I'll tell you why, Cletus is not one to suffer fools.
So let me tell you that my Marcus and I love gardening, and it was so beneficial that there was plenty of fertilizer in the main square. I mean, there are plenty of strange hooligans about wearing numbers and the like, red colors and blue colors. I don't care for that sort of thing. But what I do care for is petunias, because they are fabulous, fabulous flowers.
Now, there's a special rivalry I've got with one of the Jacobson boys, because I am number 69 on our team, and he is number 69 for their team. And that is kind of like, we're kind of like brothers that want to kill each other, but we are also the best, and so the best brothers trying to kill each other is its own kind of brotherhood. So I secretly took several packages of that fertilizer, and I snuck it over his house. I put it in a paper bag.
Yeah. Yeah, we did manage to get some of the fertilizers head over to the gardening center because, waste not, want not. And frankly, my truck ain't big enough. I don't know how they got all this over here. But, I work I'm part of the booster club for our team. And I think I'm gonna have something to bring up at the next regional meeting about sports boosters because some of the things they're getting up to is just plain ugly.
Now, it's quite lush in our town, which I'm very proud of. What I don't care for is the numerologists. There are plenty of people, mostly with the same numbers on their shirts, are tackling one another.
And if you look carefully at the numbers, actually, you have to add them together. So 6 and 9 together equals 15, and if you combine those, that equals 6, which is just short of 7. So it's not quite fulfilling the.
And by God, if Jacobson didn't have a bloody nose by the time I was done with him, because God dang it, I am the superior 69, and his whatever.
So when you really get down to it, even though they have the same numbers, it's a material difference between the spirit of the game.
No, what those little numerologist boys are good for is planting and digging holes. You see, my petunias are award-winning petunias, and they're much better than that filthy town over there with their filthy football. You see, because their football and their petunias are just substandard.
And by then, the fire had spread to both barnyards, so it turns out I had to rescue the Jacobson sisters. They were very grateful, but I did have to tell them that
we're not going to be able to return them until we get enough of our own superior petunias chopped and put in water, because we're not going to respond in kind. We're going to actually go to their town and do a beautification.
Most people don't realize that fire makes a great fertilizer, especially when it spreads over as smoke across the sky. You see, so that is one of the reasons why I'm in favor of it so greatly.
So, ultimately, I'm going to get married to 2 Jacobson sisters and 1 Jacobson brother, and we're going to make our own team that's actually going to be the unifying team for both towns.
And then we'll see who's boss.
Oh, my God.
Take their football seriously.
That's right.
And their petunias, apparently. Yeah. I love how you threw in the petunia rivalry. Like halfway through, you're like, also fuck their petunias.
After a moment, I was thinking, wait a minute, we were doing a rivalry, weren't we? Oh, yeah. I need to bring it back.
I just kind of figured you were one of the ladies in a red hat.
Yes.
You gotta figure out how to bring that rivalry to them.
Right.
Thanks so much for listening to this week's Wasting All the Time. I hope we wasted all of your time. You can always go and listen to past episodes on multiple listening devices. You can also go on to our website and you can vote for if there was a scene or a segment today that you really, really enjoyed. You can go onto the website and you can write it down, and then when we do our best of, you can be like, look at that, I did that, and people are like, rock on.
Respect.
You contributed.
Hey, what's that URL, Jess?
What's that URL, dude?
wastingallthetime.com/vote.
Thank you. I don't have my book. I don't have my cell phone. It's all on the cell phone.
You're just a lost little lamb.
But if she did have her cell phone, she could call the show at 916-235-3337.
That is actually correct.
That was sexy.
It
Wow.
was.
Dang.
I listen.
The hotline.
SWAT.
Hey guys, we wasted all our time. I hope we wasted all your time. Tune in on Monday for the second half of this episode for The Plot Thickens.
It's so thick.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations, you've made it to the end of another episode of Wasting All the Time, a podcast. If you enjoyed this show, then please consider subscribing on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, or follow us on Spotify. If you really enjoyed the show, then head on over to patreon.com/timewastepod and become a supporter of our time-wasting efforts. Now, that was a lot of things I just threw at you, so if you forget all that, just head on over to wastingallthetime.com, and there we have all the answers.
Okay. So,
Take two.
Take two? Is this take two now?
No.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Take this part out. Take this section out where I'm
Sure.
like, without my notes.
This episode.
Like, it's literally, guys, it's literally just a notes of, like, when segments happen, but without it, I feel like I am a Hansel and Gretel without
Would
the
you like-
breadcrumbs.
To have the honor of controlling.
So she has no notes. You're going to give her additional responsibility of playing the sound cues, which she has
Taking
never done
over?
before.
Well, this way she'll be able to keep track of what comes next.
Do I just touch it?
Yeah.
I had a
And
nickel.
they're in order, right?
Yeah.
Are they?
Are they?
Wait.
They're in some sort of order.
And if you want to,
Technically correct. It's
All right.
the best kind
You
of
know.
correct.
Okay. All right, guys. So,
Can you do
welcome
this?
again.
Do I believe in you?
Welcome again. I don't know if you should.
That's the confidence we need. in a leader.
Yep.